All right, welcome back. So we left off with all of the numerical data, and you have your 5-number summary in case you want to do your box and whisker plot by hand. So right now we're going to talk about how to create a histogram on Excel. Histograms, we said, are very similar to bar graphs. The only kind of big difference the way you look at them is that histograms tend to be together. The bars on the graphs tend to touch, and that's because the numerical data is continuous. So the first thing we need to do to create our histogram is we need to create our scale. So what do we want our histogram to go up by? I'm thinking since we're going from 5 all the way to 90, maybe we could go up by 10s. So that means that we're going to go from 0 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Perfect. So remember, these are going to show up, and these are the beginning of the interval. So in this interval, it's actually going to be the numbers from 0 to 10, but without counting 10. So in this case, just 5 and 5. So next to it, I'm going to put that there are 2 of these. Now, if you want to remind yourself, this is for the interval. So I'm just going to write that down here. And this is, again, the frequency. So from 10 to 20, but without counting 20, we've got all of these. Okay, so we can count these one by one. Or you can actually come down here and see that there's actually 13 of them. So I'm going to type 13. Then 20 to 30 without counting 30. And we've got 16. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say 16. Same for 30 to 40. I've got just these ones. So 7. For 40 to 50, I've got these ones. So, nope, just these ones. So we've got 5. Oop, there we go. From 50 to 60, we only have 2. From 60 to 70, we've got 1, 2, and 3. And from 70 to 80, we've got 1. We don't have any in the 80s, but we have 190. So I'm just going to put 1 here, 0 here, and 1 here. Perfect. So now, as I said before, a histogram is kind of like a bar chart. So we are going to come up here to this toolbar, and we are going to insert. Because what we want to do is we want to insert a chart. Now, if I click on here and I go and I put my chart, Excel's going to do kind of whatever it wants. So we need to tell Excel exactly what we want. So I have to click somewhere outside. So click in an empty cell, not one with numbers, not one of these, just in an empty cell somewhere. And under the Insert tab, we're going to come to this section right here that says Charts. Okay, and this is recommended charts, but we don't want recommended charts. We want a specific one. So we're going to come here where it says column or bar chart. And yes, we're kind of going to do that, but we're going to change it. So we have a blank chart here, and I'm going to move it so I can see everything. So the first thing we want to do is we actually want to select our data. So we're going to click on Select Data. Here where it says Legend Entries, or the series, is actually going to be our frequency. In XY terms, it's our Y. Okay, so the series name is going to be your question. So how long does it take to get to school? Perfect. Now, the series values, those are your Y values. In other words, in this case, they are your frequency. So I'm going to erase everything that's here, and I'm going to click this button. What this button is going to do, it's going to let me select. So I want to select these ones. These are the values that I want for my frequency. And if my mouse is not being weird, There we go. Now, this looks very, very weird, okay? But it is F1, so we're in column F, row 1, all the way to F10. So from here to 10. Perfect. All right. Now, there's a problem. If we look right now, the way it did it, it says 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's not what we want. We want 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we actually have to tell Excel that we want to decide what the X values are going to be. So we're going to edit where it says horizontal or the category axis. So edit, and again, same thing, but now we're going to do this one. So 0 all the way to 90. And now, perfect. Now we have those down here. All right, so now we need to make this look like a histogram. So as we said before, the histogram, all the bars need to be together. So we are going to click on this, and we're going to come up to where it says Chart Tools Design. And here you can change a lot of the looks, you know, put the numbers, whatever. But really none of these is going to help us. What we want to do, oh, and you can change colors too. Make them all different colors. But anyway, what we actually want to do is we want to go here where it says Quick Layout. Okay? And as you can see, all these bars are bar graphs. They're all separate, right? And so none of these work. But there is this one right here. This one, as you can see, actually makes all of the bars be together. So that's what we're going to use for the histogram, layout 8. So we click on this and we have a histogram. The last thing we need to do is these numbers, they can't be in the middle of the bar. They have to be at the beginning of the bar because they show a scale. So all you have to do, if you're not clicking anything, you just click on this and you'll see that you highlight the number. So like if I click on up here, it highlights the boxes. So I need to highlight the numbers, the axis, and then I'm just gonna do a left alignment. And there you go. Now it's from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So that's how you do a histogram on Excel. There's a few things that are missing from here. The axis titles, those are important. So down here we could label it as a number of minutes, or something like that. Here we can just call this frequency, for example, or number of answers. And there we go. Now, some people choose to change the style, and so that happens here. Still under design, so if you're somewhere else, if you're already doing something else, you need to get back to it. You just click on the chart, and under chart tools you have design. And so here, these chart styles will give you different options. So do you want to change the background? Do you want to change what the kind of those look like? You could do that, but you always have to come back and change the layout and make sure that the layout is the histogram layout. Okay? You can always play with the colors. Over here, we want to change the colors, so now they're green. If you wanted to even change each of them, so let's say I want this bar to be, oh, I right clicked on it and I want it to be orange. And I want this bar and I right click on it and I want it to be blue. Okay, so you can play around and make them beautiful, whatever you want. All right. Any other questions with these, please feel free to reach out to your teacher.